Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today is Christmas in July, day 6. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay, so this Christmas in July season, I am doing videos about myself in my early days as a medical coder. You can check out the series in the link below. I am leaving the whole playlist below. And I'm just talking about how it was for me at different points of my career. So today I am talking about striking that good work and home life balance in the beginning as a medical coder, at least my experience anyway. So let us begin. Continuing on with my adventure of being in a new city and not knowing anyone. If you've had a chance to catch up, or if you don't know, I had moved far away from my hometown to accept a job position as a medical coder. This is just what happened in my journey. And during this part of my journey, I was working a lot of overtime. I was working long hours, and I was still trying to balance my home life as well. Though I was not married, and no relationship, no boyfriend, nothing like that. I still flew back and forth home to be with my mom because my mom was sick, and I wanted to spend as much time with her as I possibly could. And so on the weekends, the way my schedule was set up, which was really awesome, I would work during the work week, which was, my work week was from Sunday through Thursday. And that meant that I could catch a flight home Thursday night and be flown back on Sunday morning and go right into work. And that was what I did for many weekends while I was over there. And there was a time when I was working overtime that I could not go home. There was a time that it was like a month, the whole month, that I was just working just straight overtime. And so I was just working through my days off, and that was okay because I was eventually saving so that I could move back home and so that I could transition back to being in my hometown because there, even though it was really nice, it's a wonderful city. I love the city, and I loved being there. I loved the people, and I loved the fact that it was such a growing experience, and it was a learning experience because I was on my own. And being there, it was nice, but ultimately I just wanted to go home, and that was where my heart was going home. So I wanted to go ahead and collect all the money that I could and to get as much experience as I could, because the more money I made, obviously the longer hours I worked, the more I got practice with coding. And I was doing professional fee service coding, and there was so much backlog when I got there because there was a lot of people that did not want to work in professional fee service coding at all. They said it was too confusing, they didn't like it, they couldn't keep anybody in that clinic. So finally, when they got me, I totally agreed to take on the challenge, and I accepted it with both hands, and I did really well in it, and I loved it. And so being aware that I'm enjoying my work, and then having those times where I did get a break, which was flying home and just being there over the weekend, and being able to do things, go out and have nice dinners and take my mom places and things like that. That was what I was working for. And again, working so that I could get back home and have my own place and just start again. That was the whole goal. But the way that I struck that good home life, work life balance was that I knew work was at work. And as soon as I walked through that door, everything that I had going on personally, which was a lot at the time, it was at the door. I left it at the door because that was the best way for me to focus on what I had in front of me, which was getting through all these encounters as quickly as I could. And my whole thing was, okay, if I'm going to work hard, I'm going to play hard. And so I did a lot of fun things when I was off. And that was my way of getting through that time. When you are working a lot, and some people are very against working overtime. They don't want to work overtime. They don't want to be away from their families. Overtime isn't forever. It is just temporary, and it is just in that moment, just to get caught up on whatever it is that you need to get caught up on at work. it was very nice because those checks were wonderful. Those were very nice looking checks, and I was very excited about that. And so to be in this experience of not really being a coder very long, but still being able to make really good money and really spend the time to actually concentrate on what I was doing, it really did help. And, you know, being in the facility and being there with providers who sometimes occasionally would come over, some of the residents would come over to the office to ask questions. But it was a lot of just researching and doing a lot of those things. I didn't have those good relationships, those hands-on relationships like I have now with my providers, but it started then. You know, it started way back then, and it was nice. It's nice to recall these things as I'm sitting here remembering those times. You do have to have fun when you are working, as much as I worked. And it wasn't just me, it was my other coworkers that were working. And I had some crazy coworkers. I mean, there wasn't very many of us. I think there was 5 of us that worked like really in the same area a lot. But there was about 8 of us on the team. But 5 of us were really close, in close quarters. And so we would see each other a lot, and we all started to, we knew that we would all start gaining weight if we didn't start doing exercises. So we all encouraged each other. So we would take our 15-minute breaks and we would go walk the stairs. Now keep in mind, this hospital is about 11 floors. I'm gonna say 11 floors because I can't remember if it was 11 or 12 floors. But we did the stairs. We would walk up the stairs and we would walk down the stairs on our 15-minute break. And it was like we were trying to hurry, and if we couldn't make it in 15 minutes, we knew we weren't going to make it, we'd stop. So sometimes we'd get up to like the 8th floor and then we'd have to come back down. So it would really all depend, but we would try to keep it in that 15 minutes. And it was just like going up those stairs and walking around the facility. It was a lot of fun because we were there to encourage each other. We could stay motivated because we kept each other like, hey, you know, are we going to go for a walk? And we're like, yes. And so we would go up the stairs, and it was so funny listening to us. And we'd be laughing in the stairwell because somebody would say something stupid, and then it would just get us all laughing. And so I was a lot. I was working so much so that one of the ladies that worked for the inpatient record side noticed. And she was noticing that I was there every morning and that I wouldn't be gone at the end of the day because I was still there. And I mean, I was literally working till like 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then I would go home, and then I would get in at 6 o'clock and start all over again. So I was really working long hours. There was a holiday that came up. I don't remember which holiday it was, but it may have been like Columbus Day or something. I know it was in the fall, but there was a holiday, and one of the inpatient ladies was like, Blue, let me cook for you. She's like, are you going home for the holiday? And I was like, no, because I have all this overtime to do. She's like, no. She goes, you come to my house. I'll cook for you. So very beautiful Korean lady, and she made the best kimchi. I have never had kimchi like she made kimchi, because I tried to have kimchi here. It is not the same. Like her kimchi, oh, it was so good. And I was so excited when I was going to go eat some Korean food, and I said, oh, they have kimchi. Let me have the kimchi. Worst kimchi I have ever had, but I may be spoiled because of her. But she invited me over to her house, and she made me Korean short ribs or Kobe beef, and she made me the kimchi, and she poured me a glass of red wine. Now, I hadn't really been a very big wine drinker, and I drank a lot of, like, if I was going to drink anything, I would drink like a beer or something like that. But with her, she poured this wonderful glass of red wine, and it was Membra's red wine, and it's a dessert table wine. But oh my God, that thing was so good. It was so, like, it was perfectly paired with the food. And she was like, oh no, this is real good. This is real good with this. And so, like, it just set off the flavors of the food. And so I was like, wow. And I'm just like fascinated, you know, with how she set it up, because at the time, I didn't, as somebody who was trained as a bartender, right? I did know about, you know, what you should pair things with, but I never took the time to like actually taste it and get to know different wines that I would like. You know, like I said, my whole thing was drinking beer or a mixed drink, but for the most part, you know, you just have a beer, you know. So anyway, I had a really nice time with her, and I was like, wow, this food tastes amazing. And she was like, oh yeah, and she was telling me how she made it and stuff, and it was like the best. But she says, you need to take breaks, Blue. I said, yes, I know, but you know, I want to get this overtime done, and I'm flying home anyway. So she said she was happy about that, because, and on the weekends when overtime would slow down, I would, if I wasn't at home, which I was a lot of the time, but for a couple of weekends I wasn't able to fly home. And so I would just stay in town, and I would just go out and I would shop, or, you know, I would go to the grocery store, go pick up food or whatever, and then just come home and cook, and and that's what I did pretty much. And that was my life. That was my life there. It was fun, but like I said, I always wanted to be at home. So, you know, anyway. But yeah, that's my story for today. So striking that good home life balance was everything, and that's what I continue to do. So anyway, I will wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, I hope you will, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.